So now that Jorge Masvidal and Kamaru Usman is official, another question has to be asked of what the heck is going to happen next with Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor, of course, retired, but he spoke about it and he said that the reason why he was retiring is because nothing makes sense right now, which in my mind means that he's asking for this guy, and this guy, and the UFC's turning him down on it. I'm going to assume this because Dana White came out and said that, you know what, Conor's going to wait for the winner of Khabib and Gaethje. Well, I don't see a world in which Conor McGregor waits that long to fight. And I also don't see a world in which Conor McGregor stays retired and never fights again. My brother Levi had a good point saying that Conor McGregor has always done his best while active. Simply meaning that Conor McGregor does best when he has back-to-back-to-back fights. I'm also assuming of which that he's asking for this. He's asking to stay active. He said that he wanted a season, and I guess we have to take the man at his word. So it must be an issue of the UFC, Dana White, not trusting how long Conor McGregor really wants to continue fighting. They're afraid that if they put him in here on this season and just send him up the ladder like a normal guy, that they're going to have Conor McGregor's last fight, and it's going to be a fight of which isn't going to have maximum drawing potential. I feel like the UFC at this point wants to hold out because they don't feel like they have that many more uses left of Conor McGregor. They're going to want to try to get the most juice out of their squeeze. So because Jorge Masvidal and Kamaru Usman are now matched up, that pretty much takes all the options at 170 away for Conor McGregor. The big Jorge fight, unless GSP wants to come back. But of normal fights of current competitors, which I do consider Conor McGregor one of, his options at 170 outside of Nate Diaz, which once again I believe that fight, when it does happen, because it will happen, will be to 155 pounds. If Jorge Masvidal wins this fight, I'm going to almost guarantee Conor McGregor Jorge Masvidal for the 170-pound championship. Almost going to be guaranteeing that. Now, whether or not they decide to put Conor in there versus somebody else in between, I would highly doubt it. I would think that they would go straight into a 170 title shot with Conor McGregor if Jorge wins. If Jorge loses and Kamaru wins, then we're probably going to see more 155 options for Conor McGregor, because there's still a lot of options right now at 155 that can headline, that are going to do massive draws. Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier 2, for instance. Max Holloway beats Volkanovski. Imagine this, Conor McGregor, Max Holloway at 155. There doesn't have to be a title on the line for that fight to make sense. You know Max is down. You know Conor's down. I mean, what do you think realistically is going to happen with Conor McGregor at this point? Because it seems like a lot of the people that he could possibly be matched up with are currently matched up with other people. And I am saying, and I believe, that Conor McGregor does not want to wait long enough for one of them to open up. I really don't. I feel like if Conor McGregor had his wish, he'd be probably fighting this weekend. But, of course, that wasn't the case, and now we have Jorge Masvidal versus Kamaru Usman, which is a crazy contest. We saw what Jorge was able to do to Darren Till. Levi has the opinion that Kamaru is going to go up there and try to stand with Jorge the same way that Kamaru would try to go up there and stand with Conor. He believes that Kamaru is going to go out there, test his stand-up until either one of two things happens. One, he's getting the better of the stand-up and he stays there. Or two, he makes a determination that the stand-up is no longer what he wants to do and he's taking it to the mat. Which we haven't seen what happens when Jorge gets put on his back by a really solid wrestler in a long time. I mean, we saw Damian Maia versus Jorge, but Jorge is a different man now. Jorge is a different fighter. Current Jorge, current form Jorge, we haven't seen him go up against a heavy top pressure like Kamaru the same way that we haven't seen Conor go up against a heavy top pressure like Kamaru. Conor versus Khabib, let's not get it twisted. That first round and a half, Conor McGregor, from bottom, did a fantastic job of limiting the amount of offense that Khabib had. Khabib did not have much. In the first takedown sprawls, Conor McGregor stopped 8, 9, 10 different takedown attempts from Khabib, and Khabib had to continue to string. That's what Daniel Cormier says about their gym and about Khabib. What makes it so spectacular and fantastic is that their wrestling, they string together moves. When Khabib goes in there, just because they tie up once and eventually hit the ground or they eventually break apart, that doesn't mean that was just one move because it was one engagement. Khabib is doing multiple different sequences throughout. I think I counted 10 or 11 in that first takedown attempt when he got in low, on the low single, Conor McGregor stacked and tried to spin around to the backside. counted 10 or 11 different string of attacks by Khabib. Took him a lot to get drunk Conor down. Same way that we don't know what prime Jorge looks like with top pressure, we don't know what prime Conor, or not prime, but current form Conor looks like against top pressure. I'll tell you what, UFC 251 this is a banger. This is an absolute banger. I'm so happy that they managed to get away and snag Jorge in on the title fight. Let's go. Who do you got this weekend? Kamaru Jorge, Rose Andrade, Max vs. Volkanovski, and Jan versus Aldo. Who you got?